Hello, everyone. We're back with Biz Besties for the week. We're like almost done of July. That's crazy.
Yeah, 23rd. Today is my grandfather's 91st birthday.
Wow, a Leo.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Okay. Papa. Papa, we're here to celebrate Papa. 93, like that's pretty extraordinary.
91, but yes, also extraordinary.
Oh, right. July 23rd, 91.
Yes, yeah.
What are you grateful for today?
I have to say, shout out to Papa. I'm grateful for him and I'm grateful for my mom's side of the family where there's always so much love. If you asked anyone in my family ever to go get you something from the kitchen or make you a sandwich or pick you up at 3 o'clock in the morning or come and help you move across the country, they would do it. So I'm grateful for all of them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so nice to have like that big family support. We were chatting with somebody the other day who said they were an only child and then like their partner was an only child and whatever else. And we were like, oh, you and I both come from gigantic families, like with massive amounts of first cousins and aunts and uncles. And sometimes I guess I take that for granted.
Yeah, it's a big East Coast family. I mean, there could be lots of people who would say, wow, that's a lot of energetics and family dynamics that you wouldn't have to deal with if you didn't have a big family. But,
Mhm.
to each their own. I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Well, I say this basically every time that I work from a location that's not home is I'm grateful for location freedom, location
Yeah.
flexibility. I'm down at my sister's in Washington and then we're heading out on a family vacation. Yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do a couple hours of work and then I'm going to be present with my family. And I'm just so grateful for that. I know I've said it a million times before, but yes, when I was a teacher, I had summers off, but that was like the only time off. I couldn't take time off any other time. And so to just say, like, hey, do I want to go away for a week? And you and I take most of August off, but like, still, I can go away and work from here. And
It's amazing.
that flexibility is like, you can't put a price tag on it.
I know. I can't get over how there's no flexibility with teachers. It's not even like, let's say somebody dies or you have to go away for a week or whatever. There's no system built around supporting teachers to be able to take time off during the year. Why? That's so archaic.
I know. We were chatting to somebody the other day who
The
told
hell?
us her secure 9 to 5 job gave her 5 sick days a year. I was like, five? Like one hand? That's it?
Yeah, you can only be sick 5 times. Otherwise, they dock your pay. Oh, okay. Well, I was unaware we were in a factory setting here in 2025. I mean, it's so wild. Yeah, we at My Aligned Purpose, which we're going to talk about in this episode, we don't count sick days. We don't count working hours. We count outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
today, what we're chatting about for everyone is the power of preparing. We're going to talk about how to prepare for a really profitable Q4, not planning, preparing,
Hmm.
although planning is definitely part of the process, but the power of preparing for anything you want. If you want to win a fitness competition, like you can't just show up and wing that shit. If you want to ace the LSATs, like you can't wing that. There's prep in all things worth experiencing, in the outcome of things worth experiencing. And so that's what we're going to chat about today.
Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay. So we were chatting about, you and I were chatting about how, okay, we're, almost done with July. So we're finishing up. We've got, what does that leave us? 5 months left of the year.
Hmm.
And we know, being in business for over the last 5 years in the online space, that it never fails that Q4 is the most profitable time of year. Whether you buy into or believe in consumerism,
Hmm.
people are buying. That's just the name of the game. And it's brick and mortar businesses, it's online businesses, it's solopreneurs, it's big companies. And when you are the person who prepares for that type of influx of buyers and customers, you are going to receive the benefits of that. But if you just arrive in October and you haven't thought about this and haven't prepared your business for it, then you're going to miss out and be like, it's not the most profitable quarter of the year. It's just like every other quarter. But you just missed an incredible opportunity by not thinking ahead.
Yeah, totally. I remember in our first couple of years of business, we were just so moment to moment in everything that we were doing, creating and selling and delivering, and really truly living in, okay, we said we're going to do this week. Let's do it this week. And then about 2022, maybe we said, okay, for 2023, we are going to get organized for Black Friday. And when that clicked for us and we decided we're making it happen this fall, we really amped up. I mean, we always have great falls, but we amped up what was possible because we put the intention out there. We decided to prepare for it. We tested a few things in advance to see what would sell. And then we were ready to go with our product for sale, our emails happening, our events centered around that time. And it's not only like literally on Black Friday, but it's basically end of October through mid-December. Everyone is thinking, okay, I have Christmas to buy for. I'm feeling this turn of seasons into the new year, especially in the coaching industry. People are thinking about what am I doing moving forward so that I have the best year ever moving into the next year. And also, there's just, there's just so much momentum in the fact that people aren't outside sun tanning, they're inside at their computer ready to work. It's kind of like what kicks it off is Labor Day. And then moving forward from Labor Day out, it's go time. It's
Yeah.
actually my favorite season.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite business season. Well, you know that I love the sunshine, but it's definitely my favorite business season. And yes, we've always had really profitable falls. Even our first fall was incredibly profitable for us. And, of course, I love our business and I love to celebrate our wins, but what's always more fun is celebrating our client wins. And when we see our clients who've been with us for a full cycle or maybe a couple of cycles, and then we watch them through all the seasons, and then we see the ones that prep for fall, and we're like, oh my gosh, you just crushed it. We've got some clients who have big fall goals, and they're telling us about it now because they know the power of prepping and planning ahead. You and I hosted this masterclass a month ago at the beginning of July when we knew that there were 6 months left of the year. And we kind of host something similar every July, whether it's, more intimate or a group. This year we did a masterclass. And we have everybody get prepped and prepared to have their biggest, most financial time of the year. But we call it 6 figures in the last 6 months of the year because it's totally possible. Actually, we just had a client write us and say that she just crossed 6 figures in the first 6 months of the year. And that surpassed last year's income, which is so incredible. And we just know that it's possible to generate that type of income. So maybe you're listening to this and you were on that call, and you get to keep going back and watch that replay and do that work. For those of you who weren't on that call, this is what we focus on inside of Aligned CEO Method from now until end of August into September. And then, like you said, Labor Day rolls around, and then you're switching gears from, okay, I've prepped, now it's execution.
Yeah, totally. So in that 6 figures in 6 month call, we talk about the marketing and messaging around your offer. And so you can think about, as you're listening now, okay, how am I going to talk about my offer in the fall? Who exactly am I talking to? Who am I going to serve with this offer? And what are they thinking in their head? And how can you start shifting your messaging so that is primarily what it reflects? And then we talk about, okay, what's your pricing look like? This is like straight business. We can talk about the different types of things you can prep for the fall in a minute. But straight business, what does my offer look like? How much am I pricing it at? And if you were to just do the math on that, how many of that offer do you need to sell to hit your 6 figures in 6 month goal? And if that is maybe not possible or what you don't think is possible, is there something else that you can sell that supplements that income goal? And thinking about, okay, sometimes it's high ticket and you can deliver something, I don't know, a 4 month coaching program and it's intensive and you get your income goal up that way. And maybe it's a group thing where you're offering it, creating it one time, and then a bunch of people are going through it. It could be like that. Or maybe you're selling something that's a digital product and it's the same thing. You create it once, a bunch of people go through it. Maybe it's a physical product and you have that priced and you have the orders ready to go so that you're hitting your income goal.
Yeah, I think about like the power of a membership. And for the people who love, ongoing support of the same type of person, and maybe you don't want it to be high ticket because your commitment in your time that you can invest in it is not super high. It's like those numbers are, it's so easy to get to six figures. You find 83 people to join your membership, and all they have to pay a month is $100 or $97. You have
Yeah.
a six-figure year.
Yeah.
83 people a month. I know that everybody listening to this could create a membership around something they love, find 83 people, serve them every month for a year for $100. That's not going to break the bank. And then you have a six-figure year.
There you go. I
So
mean, that's the magic number. 8,300 means a six-figure year. If you multiply that out by 12, or 83 times 100 makes 8,300 for the month. And then you can multiply that out by 12, and that makes $100,000 a year. It also, 83,000 makes $1,000,000 a year. So you can play around with that magic number in your pricing if you want.
yeah. Okay. So I was sharing with you before we hit record that I just think the parallels to prepping for business and prepping for like having a really big money generating season is just like so comparable across the board to so many areas of life. I think about, would you plan this big vacation? Well, okay, let's remove the word plan. Would you want to go on this big vacation and you wouldn't prep and look at where you're going to stay and the flights and get your visas and passports and things in order and think about what you're going to wear and pack your suitcase? Would you just decide, maybe some people, it's very rare, the experience is going to be very different, but would you just decide to like wake up and go to Australia? Well, you actually can't. You need a visa. You need to do all of these things with your paperwork. So when you set yourself up to prepare and to plan, you actually feel better long term. And I know there's lots of people listening who might identify how I would say I identified like 5, 6 years ago, is that plan or too much structure feels like it takes away your freedom or takes away the spontaneity of it all. But it's actually like preparing and structure creates that freedom. It actually does set you free. You don't want to arrive in fall and feel like you're scrambling. You don't want to feel like you don't know what's coming, or you're going to create all these self-sabotaging excuses of this person's already selling it, or I haven't built my audience yet. So we want to talk to everybody about some simple things you can start to do today. I mean, obviously we'd love you to join us in Alliance CEO Method because that's where you're really going to get the support, but some things that you can take away from today's episode to start to think about preparing. And I would say the first one is having a Google Calendar. Having a Google Calendar, look at, if you're not using a Google Calendar, if you're still telling yourself paper and pen works for you, that right there is self-sabotage. You're not going to get ahead. Your future clients don't know when you're available, when it's on a sticky note on your desk. So you're going to have a Google Calendar and you're going to look ahead at your Google Calendar. You're going to look at what the family Christmas plans are and the school schedules and when your holidays are. And so you're going to write that in there, look at like, what's your actual availability to pull off launches or to do live deliverables with people? When can you sit down and coach your clients, whatever it might be? But you don't want to just arrive in October and be like, oh my gosh, I actually don't have any time to do any of this.
Yeah. We always say input your lifestyle into the calendar first, and then we'll deal with the rest of the time that you need to make things happen, especially with business and how AI is so readily available and can do a lot of the legwork of getting things out the door, or getting your email sequence or your content or whatever to 60, 70, 80% done. Especially in that way, we don't necessarily have to worry about so much about time that you're putting into your business. Of course, your business needs time. But number one is lifestyle and how you want to live. So if you want to be really present with your kids, schedule that in. You want to work out, schedule that in. You want to meal prep, get that in the calendar. And then be good to yourself and start committing to what you put in the calendar and what you say you're going to do. I mean, success comes from being committed to what you say you're going to do, regardless of where it is and which area. In working out, in being present with your family, in showing up for your business and executing the plan that you put together. In doing that prep work so you're ready to go. Success is going to come when you show up and do what you say you're going to do. So put that in the calendar, start living by your calendar, and share your calendar with whomever needs to see it. So I don't know if you saw my Instagram post a couple of days ago, but I created a Pilecki family calendar and I asked our VA to input all the kids stuff for the new year in like from September until June into the calendar, because if I put that in my work calendar, my entire work calendar would be taken up. But I want to know what's happening at their school and what I need to volunteer for and when I have to pick them up and drop them off. And I have two kids going to two different schools, so two drop-offs, two pickups, two events at each school. It's actually getting more and more complicated. And when Mila goes to the same school as Evie when she's 5 in 2 years, I think we'll dial back the complication of the whole thing. But currently, there are a lot of balls in the air and there's a lot of communication needed, and we don't have any family in town. So, what am I going to do? Obviously, I'm going to make a system out of it. I added the Pilecki family calendar and I asked May to go through and add every single thing. So, like every literal extracurricular, pickup, drop off, all the school events. So, I encourage you to do that and then share that. Like I shared it with Nicole and I shared it with Scott, my husband, so that he knows where we have to be when, and we can talk about the plan for the week. And then on top of that, it's like, where does the business stuff fit in? When can I do those live calls? And which days are we working on our business building days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of lifestyle, another thing you and I were chatting about is for everyone to think about the wheel of life. So when you just gave some examples of like personal things that you might want to consider, meal prepping and all those sorts of things. And, everybody's wheel of life can look differently. So you can get a wheel of life image, Google image wheel of life if you want. I know when you and I each did our coach training, that was a big piece of doing coach training, looking at your own wheel of life, and you can fill in the categories. For different people, there might be like your spirituality, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. It might look like your family, your relationships, your friendships, your work, your money. You decide what you want to put in that wheel of life. And you're going to look at that wheel of life and you're going to ask yourself, if you are typically, the way I like to think about a wheel of life is rating it out of 10. So how do you feel about your money out of 10 and your workouts out of 10, so on and so forth. So you go around, and the areas that are really low, that are dipping, like if it's friendships and relationships, and you want those to be higher, then you've got to actively work on that. And you have to decide how you're going to have a more balanced life, especially in part of this whole conversation as we move into the fall and we're talking about building your business. You don't want to have that 6-figure celebration in your business and be like, but I'm burnt out. I never saw my kids. Me and my husband aren't talking anymore. I haven't made any time for my friends.
Yeah. And this does happen.
Oh my gosh, it happens more than I care to see and witness.
Yeah.
And I think we see it within our mastermind and peers and people who are making lots and lots of money. It's like there comes a choice where you get to decide, do you want to continue to make more money and sacrifice the other areas of your life?
Yeah. Do you want to continue the way you have been doing it?
Yeah. Or do you want to say, okay, there is a way to build this out sustainable? And this is what you and I have always been about: sustainable, profitable business.
Yeah.
Like it's predictable income. It's not costing us our health or our family or our loved ones. We're building this long-term vision. We're not like get rich quick. We're not saying drop everything to make 6 figures in the next 6 months. We really want everybody to think about what would be your holistic approach to having a really profitable fall.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And then the other way to reverse it is to get accountability and coaching and support. So I'm hearing you talk about this and I'm like, yes, 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 lifestyle first. And for our aligned CEOs who are listening, or people who want to come and join us in Aligned CEO, we intentionally look at your preparations and your plan for the fall moving forward, but for the whole year in your business and beyond. Like we have clients who've been with us for 5, 4 years, 3 years. We understand what they're trying to accomplish, where their areas of growth are, what they can build. And specifically, I look at, what are you doing that's not working smarter? You're working too hard. What are you doing that you're selling something that the price point is too low because maybe you're just not stepping up to that deliverable? You're not stepping up to the worthiness, the courage of saying, I do have this massive transformation that I can help people get to, and this is what I'm going to sell. So we push you to, when appropriate, up your prices, sell more things, organize your calendar better, actually put your lifestyle first so that, yeah, you don't feel resentful and you feel like, wow, I could build this business and build it every single year for the next 20 years and create this incredible legacy and wealth for myself and for my family and for my community. That is the whole point.
Totally.
Yes. 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 I train with this guy named Josh, love him. And every single Wednesday morning I meet him at the gym at 6:30 in the summer and 6 in the fall. Okay. Would I have woken up this morning and gone to go do pull-ups and push-ups at the gym if Josh was not waiting for me? I had this thought this morning. No, I would not. I woke up. I was in such a dead sleep. I was so confused when the alarm was going off. I didn't know what was going on. I went to bed too late last night. And then I got up and I went to go meet Josh at the gym. I'm not going to leave him hanging. Those are my goals, but he's there to support me. And that is the power of coaching and accountability support. I'm paying for it. The energy exchange isn't there. I would feel bad that I'd be getting Josh to be there waiting for me. And then if I wanted to skip a session or redo it or whatever, I'd feel bad because it's just like this weird guilt. But when there's money exchanged and the energy is there, it's like it's worth it for him to show up and it's worth it for me to show up. We are. Do not wait until fall. Get your bonus month. Okay. See you soon.